Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Transformers Friday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege Refraktor Reflector Reconnaissance Team 3-pack. Thank you for watching this video or any of my other videos that you may have run across, which I hope is all of them. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews or just to help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. And with all that said, let's get into it. First up, as is the norm here on Digital Caveman Presents, let's take a look at the packaging. And first I'd like to say off, I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but, you know, it's holographic-y in places. Shiny, foily, whatever you want to call it. But there we go. Takaratomi, Generations, Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege Refraktor Reconnaissance Team 3-pack, Decepticons. That's on the top. On the front, we have this nice camera lens type window, and you can see in there some of Reflector and some of the accessories. Some Cybertronian writing. 114. Ages 8 and up. Assortment number. Hasbro print. On the bottom, Australian customer service in New Zealand customer service. Made in Vietnam print, barcode, and authentic. On this side, we have nice artwork showcasing the three figures that make up Reflector. And on this side, some of the spy photo they took of the Ark. And that nice Siege artwork behind that. And on the back of the packaging, Reflector Reconnaissance Team. Well, it says Refraktor, but we're going to call it Reflector because we all know his name is Reflector. There looks like some more spy pictures that he's taken. Reflector, the Decepticon reconnaissance robot, turns the fine art of observation into the cruel craft of destruction. Viewfinder, function, blackmail. Spyglass, function, surveillance. Spectro, function, propaganda. Reflector is an evil marauder, not a working camera. Robots are not sold separately. Each Reflector package comes complete with Spectro, Viewfinder, and Spyglass figures. Some small print, some fine print, and Canada print. Made in Vietnam print, Hasbro print. And that, my friends, completes a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure in their combined mode. The figures, I guess I should say, in their combined mode and accessories. And first of all, here is the handy dandy instruction manual. And it's kind of neat that this is actually set up kind of like the instructions for a camera. Gives you shooting tips and a system map and customization. Yeah, customization. Ugh. And I can't say that the instructions themselves are the easiest to follow in this style, but you can fumble your way right on through it. And it does tell you they each Refraktor or Reflector, as I'm going to refer to it from now on, does have an individual name. Spectro, which is this one. Viewfinder, which is this one that has the viewfinder on it. And then Spyglass, which has the flash. Ow! Of course, I hit the arm that holds the camera that time instead of just the camera. And then, you know, it goes through transformation and stuff. The other accessory is Kremzik, and he does have peg holes on the bottom of his feet, and there's a peg right there that he can use. So he can stand here, he can stand here, and that's basically about it. Made out of translucent plastic, and parts of it are pretty solid, and some of it's kind of rubbery, and then it's got those paint apps for the face. And now for Reflector in the combined mode. And actually this set, it comes with one of these for each bot, and it ends up being actually one too many. At least in this mode, the combined mode and the robot mode. So, but you know, nice camera-y-ish looking on the front, at least. On this side, not so much, but you know, it's nice that they included the gimmick of these three combining together to make a camera. Now, I do not have any of the single releases for Refraktor or Reflector. I don't have the Netflix one or the regular Siege version. And, you know, nice little tripod-y thing here on the bottom. But that's pretty much it for a look at the combined mode. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first of our comedy portions for this show, where I attempt to transform Transformers. And first of all, in this combined mode, the first thing that I like to do is just remove the tripod and break it all apart. And as you can see here, there are those three little tabs, and they're kind of curved, and there's three little curved slots in this piece that it connects to. Then the tripod, it does come apart into the guns, and you can see there's kind of a tab right there, and then they have a slot, and they're all like that, and they just combine together, and then you put the round piece on the top. Just kind of set those aside. Then what you want to do is pull the lens off, and you can see the lenses have these tabs, but not all of them really count. The small tab here and here go in these slots right here and right here. Then once you have that done, they just kind of snap apart. And as you can see, I'm making three separate piles for stuff. Then we have the flash, and it just pegs in. There's, you know, hole right there, peg right here, and it also can be used as a hand weapon when they're in robot mode. Then you have the viewfinder part, and it just kind of slides forward, and you see these two, I guess you could call them shoulder humps, and then these pieces on the inside, you just kind of close it over, then slide it back into the holes here. And then lastly, we have this piece here, and it just kind of swings open like that, and then there's two, well, you can swing that up, I guess, because there's a hinge right here, but there's two posts in this part that slot into these holes here, just like that. There's those two. It's these two, the largest holes in the feet. Then all you have to do to break these guys apart, and I'll go ahead and take this off. Put it here. And that one, even though it's on him, I'll put it over here in this other pile. And all you really have to do to get these pieces off is just untap them. There's a post here and a hole here. And as you can see, this one, the chest part faces forward, and the other one's the legs face forward for the other two. And now what I'm going to do is show one of these guys transformed. I'm going to do one transformation for them all, since they're exactly the same as far as transformation goes. And we'll do the ship mode first. So first thing you want to do is flip these landing gear parts out. Then the feet, the legs and the feet, they just kind of tab into the arms here. If I can, there we go. Untab the legs from each other. Apparently, well, there we go. And you have to lift up on it a little bit to get it loose from the arms. Alright, so there is that part done. And alright, that part is correct. Flip the toes straight down. Then turn the legs where the open portion here is facing each other. And straighten the legs up as much as you can. And then you take the gun, and it's got these two pegs on either side of the back of it, and these holes at the end of the toes, they peg into that. And you just close them around it, and as long as the legs are lined up, it'll all close up there pretty good. Now for the arm, you'll notice these two slots right here. On the lower forearm, you'll see there's a tab right there. So you want to rotate this around so that the tab is facing in, and the same thing on the other side. And there we go, that part is done. And then you open the chest up, and then you flip out this part. And there's two tabs right here, and they correspond with these slots right here. And you might have to play with it a little bit to get them to line up. Then you take the round piece, and there's a hole right here, and you just plug it in there, and it doesn't really go in there very far, but it's sturdy in there. And then his shield part, or the piece of the lens that goes with him, there's a hole right here and a peg right here. And there you go. And that is the standard mode for all of them. But then, you know, they do have some extra pieces. This piece just kind of tabs in together. And I can't remember. I had these tabbed in somewhere before. I don't remember where. But you can take these pieces and they will attach at some points, like right there. I guess you could tab it in right there if you wanted to. Make it kind of a shield piece. I mean, you don't have to put these pieces on it, but you know, I like to keep the pieces together. So that's one way to do it. I'm sure there are several ways to put the extra pieces on. And I'll show you the extra pieces in just one moment. And this is viewfinder. Didn't I say? I think this is viewfinder. This is spyglass, and you know, his, you know, it just pegs in one of these holes with the post, and that looks okay. And then here's Spectro, and his extra piece is this, and there's not, I haven't really found a whole lot you can really do with this piece. It really looks out of place, but you know, you can find a spot and post it on there, and it just looks dumb. Of course, the you know, these ship modes aren't my favorite anyway, so I doubt I will ever transform them this way again unless it's for a comparison of some type. But there are all three: Spectro, Viewfinder, and Spyglass. I think it's Viewfinder. Let me check. Yes, Viewfinder. Spectro, Viewfinder, and Spyglass in their spaceship modes. And I don't know if I showed off like the back of it here much, but you know, it's a ship mode. So there they are in their ship modes. Now let's do some alt mode comparisons. And first of all, here we have the Titans Returns Legends class Bumblebee. And here we have the Amazon exclusive Earthrise Dead or Alternate Universe Optimus Prime. And I can't really say that these scale up worth a crap because, you know, spaceship and rig. But here we have the Siege Voyager class Soundwave, which I think I have transformed correctly. It may not be. I really hate this mode, so there's how they compare up. And that, my friends, does it for the alt mode comparisons. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the second comedy portion of our show, and I'm going to do it just like I did before, and I'm only going to show you the transformation on one of them, and then I'll show you how all the accessories work with them. So first of all, you start with pulling any of the extra pieces off, then the piece of the lens, then this piece, the round piece, and I guess we can start by untabbing this. You fold it in and fold it right back up into the chest. The arms you untab again, there's that little tab on the forearm and that slot here, so you just untab those and just swing them on around to the front and rotate the arms so the elbows are facing forward. I guess you could go ahead and take the hands and flip them out. Okay, then you want to take and spin the waist around, and this gun piece here, you just kind of wiggle it a little bit, and this piece here will help open the legs up. Just move that out of the way. Twist the legs so that the landing gears are on the facing each other, and then just flip those on in, and then spin him around, put the toes into place, and lastly, look on the back, flip the head up and spin it around. And for the other two, you would take this piece and put it right here, but for Viewfinder, he does not use that piece in robot mode. But you could still stick it on there if you wanted to. Now, as far as the extra pieces like the gun, you know, it just tabs into his hand, or there's other posts or other holes that you can put the posts on. And then, you know, for the shield, it's pretty much the same. You just post it wherever you feel, or it does have another post on it so he can hold it in his hand if you wanted to do that. Now, for Viewfinder, his extra pieces, of course, are is the Viewfinder, and you flip these things right here. You flip them all the way out like this, and then they just peg into place just like they do in the combined mode. And there we have Viewfinder. And then here we have Spyglass, and he does take this little round piece, and you can see there's a hole right here and a little peg on there. And then his extra piece is the flash, which you can post in, you know, anywhere that there's a place for it. You can post in like that, or you can use that piece, or he can hold it as a weapon also with the furthest back peg. Which is kind of cool. I kind of like it like that though. So that he can use all his weapons and his shield. And then lastly, here we have Spectro with all his bits on here except for his final piece, which is a shield. And you just kind of tab it in, you know, like that, and there he has a shield. So this piece is best used in combined mode, and really in the other two modes it really doesn't serve too much of a purpose, in my opinion. Your mileage of course may vary. You might like the way that that looks. I just personally don't care for it. Well, that does it for the second comedy portion of our show. Not too bad. Not too funny either. Now let's take a look at each of the bots in their robot mode quickly, and then I'll choose one to do the articulation on. And first up we have Spyglass. Nice color up in there, I think. And you know, he's colored, you know, all three of them are colored differently. And I think that's kind of cool, so you can tell them apart. Nice paint apps here at the feet and the knees. And, you know, nice pop of color here on the chest for the face. Nice red eyes, silver face. And, you know, lots of hollowness on the back, but that's okay. And again, same with the face here. Nice silver face, nice red eyes. Not quite the bright pop of color on Viewfinder here as Spyglass. And really not too many paint apps, period. You know, he doesn't have the stuff on his feet or his knees, so. And then Spectro, nice red and black. And again, no real paint apps on this guy. And then he has the Decepticon logo. Spectro does, and then Spyglass has a Decepticon logo, but no Decepticon logo on Viewfinder. So I find that a little weird. Maybe that's just me. Now, since I got old Spectro here, let's take a look at the articulation. He can do the full Exorcist, and you know, if you undo his head like in transformation, you know, he can look all the way like behind him, and he really doesn't look up or down, and he has just a very tiny bit of waggle in there, not much at all. At the shoulder, comes out to a 90-degree angle, a 360-degree rotation at the shoulder. Also, a mushroom peg at the upper bicep for another 360 degrees of rotation. A single hinged, well, I say single hinged, it might actually be double hinged. Yes, the elbow is a double hinged elbow, and it will go all the way up. And then for the wrist, you know, you have this up and down movement, but that's basically just because of transformation. So I don't really count that. You can count it if you want to. No kind of crunches. Although, oh, that pin there's for the chest. A full 360 degrees of rotation at the waist. He can give you that much of the splits. Kicks forward like a showgirl. Kicks back like a mule. Cut here at the upper thigh for another 360 degrees of rotation, and that is on a mushroom peg. Single hinged knee joint, and it gives you a 90-degree angle. Down on the lower part of the leg, I don't want to say the ankle, but you do get some tilt there, but this is because of transformation, and it's, you know, toe down tilt. I don't know if you can do a whole lot with that. And then he does have rocker, and it's about 90 degrees worth of rocker. So there we go. That's a look at the figures and their articulation. Now it's time for my favorite part of a Transformers review, the comparisons. And to start things off, here we have that Titans Returns Legends class Bumblebee, in which these guys are all deluxe class, by the way, if I didn't mention that earlier. And then here we have the leader class Netflix Earthrise Optimus Prime, Walmart exclusive. And here we have Siege Soundwave and what I like to refer to as his communication tower mode, because that's how I have him in my display. I did not want to put him all the way into robot mode. But because I didn't, I did pull down the Netflix Earthrise Soundwave because they are the same. You know, technically speaking, they're pretty much the same bot, just retooled a little bit. So that's how they size up. And that, my friends, completes a look at comparisons. For final thoughts on the Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Refraktor or Reflector 3-pack, I'd have to say I really do like this pack. I do like the fact that each bot is different from the other in some way or the other, and that, you know, not all three of them look alike. I know in the cartoon they were all the same, but I like to be able to differentiate them other than a bit of kibble here and there, or accessories here and there rather. I will say this extra piece that is not supposed to go in viewfinder, I'm actually going to stick it on him, and I'm going to leave it on him like that for in the display, simply so I don't lose the part. Another thing, I do appreciate the extra parts that we get to make the combined camera mode. When it's in camera mode, it really helps kind of tie all that together as a camera, in my opinion. Your mileage, of course, may vary. The only real drawback to this set is, again, this piece. Other than in the combined camera mode, it really doesn't work in robot mode. You know, it still looks like a piece of a camera. It doesn't work in the spaceship mode, which I don't really care about because I'm never going to use that mode again. Except, of course, as I stated before, unless it's for a comparison. I like the fact the guns combine together to make the tripod. There's a lot of neat things about this set. The box is actually really cool too. And the fact that the instructions, you know, look like a camera manual. And then of course we do get a Crimzeek. So that's all kind of cool. I missed out on this set the first time around. That's why I'm reviewing it now, because I didn't get it until the reissue. And yeah, I'm glad I did get this set. I debated the first time around and debated, and that's why I missed out on it, because I debated with myself too long before I decided, hey, I want it, and it was all sold out everywhere. So shame on me. So I am glad that these guys did get another shot out in the wild, so to speak, at least online. And if you like the set, I hope you were able to pick it up. I know it was a little steep at like 70, right around $70. But you know, it's cheaper than what it would be if they re-released it now. Rather than a few months ago. Or, you know, when they put the pre-orders back up. I don't know. Anyway, enough of the rambling. Let's end the video. That does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I did enjoy making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count. And I do really appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very much. Bleh. I don't know, I'm stumbling over all my words. But thank you so very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews, or just to help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.